zero, and liftoff.
And I'll introduce our last speaker. He left well, he off jeans, so pay attention. It's my bro. Right, Creighton K. Moxey is a 23-year-old international speaker, author and entrepreneur, and the founder of Immerse Global, a business consultancy and marketing company. He strives in the capacity of Chief Marketing Officer and is a graduate of the Louisiana State University with a Bachelor of Science in Business and a concentration in entrepreneurship. Creighton is an avid reader that always looks forward to learning new information, particularly in the business world. Some of his strengths include ideation, learning analytics, and futuristic design. This gives him the ability to come up with many innovative ideas to enhance the success of business. He focuses on efficient and effective solutions while enjoying the learning process along the way. Creighton also serves as Chief Marketing Officer of Immerse Bahamas and plays an integral role in the marketing and business development aspects of the company. His two passions are entrepreneurship and the Bahamas, and this aligns with his goal of assisting Bahamians to create generational wealth and displaying the authentic beauty of Bahamian culture and its people. Let's give a round of applause for Creighton.
Vaughn, I just want to thank you for that introduction. Honestly, before I came here, I didn't think about what I would speak about at all. But after Sasha gave so many great points, I finally know what I want to talk about. I feel like you said a lot of great things, but the most important thing you said is, I hate school. That's a point that really resonated with me. Like honestly, like a lot of you here, right? I realize in life that the educational system has a lot of flaws. They try to label you and put you in a box and say that. But seriously though, they try to label you and put you in a box and say, oh, you gotta be good at every single thing. No one is good at every single thing. Find out your strengths and be good at that. So like when I was in school, right, I used to go to BMES. I used to want to go to the Rocks. A lot of my family from down there used to want to go to public school and stuff like that. But I went to BMES. I probably would have been better served going to school like the Rocks because I gotta pick up a trade or pick up something that I know when I get out of school I can make money off of that. And that's the problem I see with the educational system in general, but specifically private schools. Now, I can just talk a little bit because what I realize is like, in the educational system, right, they want you to be good at every single thing. When I was in school, I used to get like 60s on my report card, struggle to get through school. All I had to care about was basketball. Like literally, that was it. That was my whole life. And I didn't stop caring about basketball until I got hurt. And that was when I was 18. I went off to Chattanooga, Tennessee. I used to play at a high school called McCauley School. And in my senior year of school, I got hurt. So I was like, you know what? I've been committing all this energy to basketball, right? And basketball finished for me. Now I done short, and I hurt my knee. So I ain't that knob. I ain't that knob, man. It was already hard. I was already selling myself a lot of dreams. So I was like, wait, what you really want to do in life? If you could devote all this energy to trying to play basketball, and this ain't working out for you, why not devote it to something that can be able to help you and help your family and help your community? So what I decided to do was think about what I wanted to do. And I didn't really find out what I wanted to do until I went to university. I was 21 years old, and I was a junior in college at that time. And in college, right, you know, I wasn't completely in my entrepreneurial mindset, so I was thinking what I can put on this resume and make this look good. And I found out that, like, people were telling me you should join a club, you should try to get in some kind of club to make it look good, make it look pretty, right? I decided to join a club, but the club I decided to join was an entrepreneurship club. And in that club, literally what we had to do was read two books. One was Start With Why, which talked about finding out what is your passion. And I feel like that's a huge thing. If you're trying to do anything in life, try to find out what's your passion. If you ain't gonna find out what's your passion, find out what you're skilled at. So a lot of you probably could draw dead good, right? Or you good at music. And in our educational system, a lot of times they don't value that. They look at that and be like, oh, you're super creative, but why you ain't doing so good in biology or chemistry? I can tell you this, don't care about no biology and chemistry if you know you're good at one thing. If you know you're good at something, go in that direction and go fully after that and chase that. Look for your strengths or look for your passions. If you can find a combination of two of them things, you can't lose in life. Anything you're doing, you want to think long term. And if you're doing something that you ain't passionate about and that you ain't skilled about just for dollars, first of all, you can feel bad about yourself during the process. It can be horrible. And then you can realize that that money you was really suffering and going through the struggle for wasn't worth it. So at the end of the day, do something you're really passionate about. You could enjoy yourself, still make your money, and trust me, you can go way further. So after I joined this club, right, and I read that book, I never used to like reading. I always liked learning. I used to watch National Geographic, so all them weird stuff. I never used to like learning, right? I mean, I used to like learning, but I never used to like reading. And what this club forced me to do is read a book. And after reading this and reading the next book called Strengths-Based Leadership, that forces you to find out what your strengths are. You take a test and they tell you what your strengths are. But they also tell you that when you find out your strengths, you should only focus on your strengths and find people who have your weaknesses. So you may have a boy who dead good at carpentry, right? But you dead good at mapping out business plans. Y'all could come together, you could tell him, okay, you do the design and stuff, I lay out the business plans, I lay out the deals, I do the pricing and stuff like that. And he go out and get the business for you because he good at business, he good at marketing and stuff like that. You focus on your technical skills and you all make money together. So what this book basically taught me is that you focus on your strengths, you go in that area and you chase that, and then everything in a line. So then after I did that, right, I joined the club and I was like, okay, what is my passion? I found out that I had some skills in communication, so I went fully in that direction. That's what led me to start Immerse Global. So Immerse Global is a business consultancy and marketing company. And what I do is develop in-depth business plans. So if someone come to me with a business idea, say for example, they want to get in the fashion industry and they just come to me with a piece of jewelry, I can tell them, you come to me with this piece of jewelry, but you need to do a brand philosophy behind this because this ain't gonna go nowhere in the long term. So for example, right, you got on them Air Forces, that's Nike, right? You don't just buy that shoe just because how it look or just because of the styling. You buy it because you buy into Nike. You probably like a lot of the stuff Nike is too. That's the reason they even do stuff like the commercials and they put all their money and invest in all them things. That's the reason they would give someone like LeBron James a deal to represent their brand because they realize that when someone see him wearing that, they can get emotionally attached. They might like Nike, they might like LeBron, but by liking LeBron and LeBron wearing Nike, you end up liking Nike. So in my type of business, I try to show people that you got to think long term in this business plan process. You can't just come with a piece of jewelry and say, I can make a bunch of money off of this. Why they can buy your jewelry? What make you so special? Especially if you ain't got no type of name behind you, like why they coming to buy from you? So what I do in this process is I create a whole philosophy behind what the brand is, create a story, because the number one thing in marketing, or getting people to buy into anything, not just marketing, getting people to buy into anything is emotions. Once you get people emotionally connected, you can sell them anything. You can sell water to a well if you can get them connected to what the message is. Easily. So I help people develop those plans. I help them do various marketing strategies. But this is just a means of me being able to generate some revenue, but also help people in the process. And this isn't my ultimate goal. My ultimate goal is actually to help generations and help my community. So like I said, my family from the Rocks. My dad family from Jonestown and my mommy family right across from Renegade. So like my whole family from the Rocks. And what I realized is a lot of them went through life, right? They worked at various jobs, they did various things. They were able to support their families to a certain degree, right? But they weren't able to generate enough money to be able to change the condition. So say they go through their job, right? They stay there for 20 years. They go through that whole process, right? They go through a job they ain't even passionate about. So it's just a cycle. They ain't even advancing and going forward in life, right? They go through that whole process. At the end of the day, they get fired or they retire. They don't own nothing, right? So now their child got to go through the same process because he in the same struggle and his child got to go through the same process. So my thing was right when I read this book called Rich Dad Poor Dad that all y'all should read. That's a big one. That's a big one. When I read this book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, oh shoot, you blow the mic in. When I read this book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, that all y'all should read, right? It taught me about financial intelligence, and what it taught me is, okay, they have various quadrants. You could be an employee, you could be a business owner, you could be an employee, you could be self-employed, you could be a business owner, or you could be an investor. Most people know what an employee is, right? You all know what that is, right? You get a job, you generate some money. That's cool. That gives you some money to get past, pay certain bills, and survive. But at the end of the day, you should have the mindset to say, you don't want to just settle for that. You could start there, but you want to look at advancement. So say I was a carpenter, right? And I go in this company. I don't want to just look at it and say I can generate some money off this. I want to look at what I can learn from this, and I want to look at how I can eventually own my own system. I can hire people. You in the mix of the whole business, so you could learn everything. So why not? You got a thing, ownership, because at the end of the day, if I ain't here tomorrow, I know my grandchildren got something, I know my great-grandchildren got something, because I take the time to sacrifice and how to do it. And that's my old mindset with this right now. So even my plan right now is, right, I live in Freeport right now, sadly. But I won't get back in the rocks because I won't start businesses down here and help my own community. A lot of people look at 8 Mile Rock, they doubt the potential in 8 Mile Rock. It's crazy. It's crazy because 8 Mile Rock is one of the most powerful communities. You know, we just need to tap into it. We actually got a community. Freeport ain't a community. Say I walk in Freeport, right, and I won't catch a ride somewhere. Ain't no one stopping for me on the side of the road to give me a ride. That's a guarantee. They probably think I trying to rob them or something, but they ain't think I trying to rob them maybe, but you know, they ain't giving me a ride. In the rocks, I remember going down there to Sea Grip tournament and stuff like that. I know I can stand on the side of the road if I do my finger out long enough, someone can stop with their truck, you go up on the truck and get to where you're going. That's because we got a community, and that's the difference. It's the difference between up in a place where people live and up in a community. A community is when people bonded and people can come together and get stuff done. So I realized that aside from the rocks up in the community, you all have a lot of entrepreneurs naturally. I don't know if a lot of y'all know this, right? But back in the day, when Freeport was initially developed, they used to allow people from different communities to come in Freeport to work, but they used to tell them they had to go back in the rocks after a certain time or go back in their communities. They had a fence at that gate, at the fence right when you come into the entrance of 8 Mile Rock, stopping people and saying you can't come out after a certain hour. And that forced us to find out how to survive. And that's what I'm trying to show you all. You all got potential in you all, and you all can survive. So, you all can survive, but it requires learning what your skills are, learning what your passions are, and coming together, being united. I see you all here, and this just makes me so happy. It makes me happy to see Vaughn gone. It makes me happy to see someone like Vaughn at this young age doing empowering things, because honestly, all y'all is royalty. You all just gotta tap into it. You are kings and you are queens. You all just gotta tap into the potential with inside yourself, and make the most of that. So, my goal really is like, I look at 8 Mile Rock, right? You have a lot of entrepreneurs in this community naturally because you was forced to create entrepreneurs. You know, if we really invest back in 8 Mile Rock, you know, try to beautify the places, come together, fix it up as a community, we'd have one of the most powerful business communities in the Bahamas. Y'all, I don't know if a lot of you know this, but 8 Mile Rock is the largest continuous settlement in the whole Bahamas. The whole Bahamas. Now, looking at that, that means we have a certain critical mass, we have a certain amount of people that we can come together, we have all the skills. All these people in these big companies with Freeport and stuff, they would hire people from the rocks. The majority of people working at the shipyard, the container, a lot of them from the rocks. We got all the talent, so why we don't tap into ourselves, unite with each other, and fix our community? I notice what we usually do is try to go all about the place and fix everything else before we fix ourselves. And that's what I believe a big problem is. Like myself personally, right? I was in school at Louisiana State University. I hated college. My first 2 years, I was like, but this don't make no sense. Like, I ended up learning about all these things that I don't want to do. My last 2 years made more sense since I was taking business classes and stuff like that. But at the same time, I wanted to get out of there because in the summers, I was already working. I was already doing business. Like my junior year summer, before I went back to school, I was already making a lot of business deals and doing certain stuff. So I felt like school was getting in the way. And aside from that, it was costing my mommy a lot of money. She struggled to put me through school, so that whole process was just stressing on me because I don't want to get out to make money, not cost you more money. So during this process, like, I thought about my options and stuff, right? But the one thing that always stuck with me is I wanted to come home because I realized that if I wanted to change my community, I had to be involved in my community. We have too much people who go outside, and ain't nothing wrong with going outside and getting value, you know. You could get that value and bring it back to your country. We have a lot of people who just look at, oh, I don't get this money, they ain't gonna pay me this right now, they ain't willing to go through the struggle, they ain't thinking long term. I could have easily gone to like China or gone to Seattle or something like that and been probably making a lot of money right now doing the stuff I do. But I realized I gotta make the sacrifice to come back here and try to develop my country. If all us leaving, who can fix it? And that's honest, if all us leaving, who can fix it? Like, we have a lot of people who have certain systems set up now, they want us to leave. Bro, we living in paradise. We living in paradise, but we ain't really living, we existing. We ain't getting to experience it. So, developing your business, getting your family some generational wealth, and helping out yourself, and helping out your community, can allow you to enjoy all this beauty we got around us. I just think of how much friends I ask, like, when last you been to the beach? They'll be like, oh, I ain't been there in years. And I understand it's natural because it's around us all the time, but ain't no reason we shouldn't be enjoying more of the stuff around us, like the beach, the stars, the great weather. Like, we don't even enjoy the stuff. We used to complain, we used to be like, it's hot, blah, blah, blah. People literally around the world suffering just to get here, to live the life we already been granted just by where we are now. I don't know if I'm talking too long here. Oh, okay. But yeah, that's just my point. My thing right here is to just tell you guys, don't let the educational system define what you can be. The only person who can define what you can be is yourself. you have the value within you. A lot of people don't even know the value of within you. Sometimes you gotta make them aware of it. Sometimes you gotta go through the struggle and go through the process and tap into who you are and invest in your dreams and go after them. I had a lot of people, when I first come from school, I could think about it. I had like uncles and stuff coming to me saying, oh, so what you doing? Like asking my mommy, like, what are you doing? No money, you need to go work. They ain't seeing no money, nothing like that, right? And I already tell them what I do, and I done tell him a million times. He still can't understand because he can't see the vision. I tell him a million times what I do, and he ain't understanding it. He trying to downplay my dream, saying, oh, you going to spend all this money on this boy, and first of all, he called me a boy, and I said, man, so you going to spend all this money on this boy, and he ain't, he ain't do certain things, and he ain't making no money right now. But you have to believe in what you're doing and stay focused on that. You can have people around you who might be the closest people to you, family members who can be your biggest naysayers. They can be trying to tell you can't do it. It might be your mommy, it might be your daddy. I ain't saying be disrespectful, right? But no people, you know within yourself what is right and what is wrong. So try to tap into what you know is right and what is wrong. Tap into your goals and go after them, and don't let no one block you from what you're going after. Now it ain't gonna be easy. When I came home in May, I just graduated in May, and when I came home, it was a struggle. Bills piling up. I don't know where I get money from to do this and that. It's me and my mommy there, so I gotta try to figure out how we can make this work. I had to tap into my brain. Wait, literally at the point now, I skinny right now. You can't see it because I got on this blazer. You still probably look skinny. But I get to the point where I had to, literally I used to wake up in the morning, never worry about food, never think about food. Food was around to really worry about. I used to be eating imagination sandwiches, like I like to call it, with plenty of creativity. All day. Just because I realized that it wasn't around, but I had to find a way to get it. I ain't gonna go big, no one fair. I can find a way to survive and find a way to do something. So I had to tap into myself, struggle, find the value, but not pay it off. If I could have took the easy route and just been like, oh, I can go get a job, but that's always an option. If what I doing right now don't work out, I can always go get a job. I have some people sending me requests and stuff all the time, wanting me to do jobs like for them, but I rather work with people. I rather as partner, I rather me bring my company and do the same work I would do, but do it through my own company because I have ownership in that. So all I basically trying to tell you all is, don't let no one crush your dreams. You all got a lot of value in yourself. You just got to take time to find out who you are though. You got to really take time to find out who you are. Look in the mirror and don't let the opinions of society around you define who you're supposed to be. A lot of times we do so much stuff because we're trying to impress people. Try to impress yourself first because that's the most important thing. Once you impress yourself, you can be happy. If you live a life trying to impress other people all the time, you never can be happy. Don't be trying to put on for people, don't be trying to do that, but it ain't going nowhere in the long run. The truth always has come out. Authenticity always is shown in the long term. So I could have come up here, I only talk about stuff I know about, or stuff I've been already experienced. I could have come up here and talk about all kind of things and sell you all kind of dreams and say this and say that. But what I realize is, that don't work in the long term. I wouldn't be able to generate, because this is natural to me, like I wouldn't be able to generate certain content and sustain it and keep it going if it was something I was trying to fake through. So find out who you are, that's the only way you can be true to yourself, and when you be true to yourself, you can go far as ever.
He's so passionate. I love it.
That's what we can do.
Thank you. I love it, man. You're going to be big.
I have a
How to start your business? Yeah. So you already know the idea, right?
Yes,
you already know what you're watching.
That's right, girl.
After you lay it out and find out, think about the brand you're going to be. Think about what you want your company to represent. After you find out what you want your company to represent, then try to do research to find out the licensing process and stuff like that, which is the equipment you need. Because what type of company is this again?
Fighting Federation.
Fighting Federation. So that's more of like a fight club type thing. So like
Kind of like UFC.
so it's like but it'll be a gym facility, you put memberships and stuff like that. Find out the type of equipment you can need in there, lay out your membership packages, get your prices together. That's a great start. And then after you already know what the equipment is, that's just a money thing. And you find out how to get the money. So even if it involves working as far as to get the money and build up revenue over time, that can take a little.
Hey, there you are.
Or maybe you can get a loan, or maybe you can, there's various ways to try to get a loan. Maybe a lot of people get a loan, they don't get loans for businesses.
I can't
Give a loan for a car, because you know how to start it.
Get a girl back.
So, just hit me up. And we can talk some more.
I
But,
The number.
all right, perfect.
I do event
But basically, you look into the license stuff, you can make a list of all those stuff. Make a list of if you can need any staff or anything like that. You might have to start bootstrap it. That's basically starting with the minimum stuff and starting where you keep it as slim as possible. Try to top in what you can really do and then scale it from there. But we can talk about what your ideas was. What you think holding you back right now? Because you can start while you're in school. Doing something. Yeah, you can start from now.
What's your name, sweetie?
Jules Beer.
Yeah, I remember Bill.
I can remember that too. Very enthusiastic.
I could do mechanic work. I could do electrical work. I could do air conditioning work. I know everything. Anybody who said they know everything, they crazy.
That's right.
You're supposed to be learning.
I know.
You know everything.
I know them trades to the point where I can make money off them.
That's right.
School, you know what I mean? But me, I won't be a point where I can acquire good generating money making assets.
I ain't gonna lie.
That's why I want to limit all my liabilities. I know the difference between liability and asset. That's the first thing I know.
Right.
Now, at school, I wish I'd take accounts when I was in grade 7. I would take that up, but I want to learn with tax and
Timing.
Yeah.
Timing. You're gonna be big. Remember I told you that.
You powerful, bro.
You're gonna be big. Serious.
Real estate don't pay taxes.
Smart. That's what I'm trying to get to right now. It's a process now. I mean, there's certain things you can leverage to get in there.
Thank
early,
you.
But I can take the next process of building my business.
We gotta go because we don't go in the car. You ain't gonna understand.